Hillsborough County has opened a majority of its conservation parks, trails, and nature preserves to give residents additional options for recreation and exercise. While parks can provide an escape and excitement, county leaders are urging residents to take precautions to protect themselves. To help stop the spread of COVID-19 while in public places, use common sense. Stay home and avoid parks if you're feeling sick. Practice social distancing. Avoid groups or gatherings larger than 10 and stay at least 6 feet from others while exercising. In addition to social distancing, Hillsborough County leaders continue to urge residents to wear cloth face coverings when in community settings. Bring your own water. Though parks are opening, many amenities will remain closed. Prepare for your visit by packing necessary items like hand sanitizer, and it's a good idea to bring your own disinfectant wipes to wipe down any public surfaces before touching or when touching public equipment. But remember, don't flush them after using. Residents who do not abide by the social distancing requirements or listen to instructions from county staff while enjoying the parks will be asked to leave the property. We encourage you to visit hcflgov.net/stay safe for up-to-date information.
A lot of things have been canceled, a lot of things have been postponed, but definitely not kindness. And we want to spread the kindness in our community and know that our first responders are still here for you. And thank you for staying at home for us, and we are here for you. So today we are here to surprise a little boy who is turning 9. He just moved to the county with his family and is very quiet, very shy, but has an affinity for fire trucks. And so what better way to welcome him to Hillsborough County and also maybe celebrate a little bit of his birthday by bringing one of our very own fire engines and a rescue to do a little drive-by, especially during this time.
We hear someone's having a birthday here. Is someone having a birthday here? Happy birthday, Kristen.
Hillsborough County has teamed up with the Department of Health and other public health and safety agencies to address any impacts the virus may have on our local community. To help prevent the spread of the coronavirus, here are a few tips you should know. Practice proper hand washing by using soap and water and wash for at least 20 seconds. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer if you cannot wash. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Cough and sneeze into a tissue and throw it away. Clean, high-touch surfaces frequently. Some examples include doorknobs, credit and debit cards, cell phones, keyboard and mouse devices, and toilet handles. Stay home if you're feeling ill. If you have any flu-like symptoms, avoid contact with the public. Avoid sharing personal items in spaces with those close to you. Seek medical care early if you're feeling sick. Symptoms of the coronavirus can include fever, coughing, and shortness of breath. Seek medical care if you develop
Thank you. All right, first I want to thank everyone for being here. I'm Amanda Grant. I am going to be the public art coordinator. I'll facilitate these meetings. The first thing I want to do is start off with a brief explanation of what the Public Art Committee is and the Site Advisory Committee. So the Public Art Committee is basically, it acts in the public interest on all matters of things relating to the public art ordinance and the selection, placement, and maintenance of the works throughout the county. And it kind of serves as a liaison between the county and the visual arts community. Some things you need to know about the artists and the works of art are that All public art projects shall be the works of accomplished artists. They're required to provide documentation of their experience and academic credentials. Public art funds will not be spent for decorative or ornamental, mass-produced designs. Kind of needs to be an original work. As far as the Site Advisory Committee, that is going to be made up of interested stakeholders, including yourselves. And that includes people like somebody from the Public Art Committee, county staff, project managers, or other interested community members. And I will be the facilitator of these as the Public Art Coordinator. These meetings, given that the site has already been picked and the theme, these will probably have 2 meetings over the course of 3 to 4 months. So this being the first meeting, the Site Advisory Committee is tasked with providing public input. And so typically they'll have some input on the location, but like I said, that's already decided for us. The next thing that the Site Advisory Committee is tasked with is the artist selection, which is what we're going to do today. And that's where we will review the artist's past work, their resumes, and select a number of artists to be recommended for consideration. The Site Advisory Committee in this instance will select 3 artists to prepare site-specific proposals, and the Public Art Committee will review that. We'll review the rankings and pretty much confirm the short list, and then we'll move forward with requesting site-specific proposals. The Site Advisory Committee will reconvene, meet again, once more to review those site-specific proposals. We'll go through the same procedure. We will review them, rank them, and I will present those rankings to the Public Art Committee, who will make the final recommendation to county administration and county staff. And from there, we'll begin negotiating an agreement. So that's a quick little rundown of the Site Advisory Committee and what we're here to do today. Next, I just want to start off and do quick introductions around the virtual room, and I will start off and let everybody know I'm Amanda Grant. I'm with Architecture Services, and I am the Public Art Coordinator.
I'm Megan Nixon with Commissioner White's office.
I'm Noelle Mason, representative from the University of South Florida.
And the Public Art Committee.
I'm Lisa Ledbetter. I'm just, your local community representative, I guess.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Rawls. I'm the project manager for the Durant and Miller Road intersection project for the county.
Yeah. Ursula Hill with Architecture Services.
All right. Thanks, guys. Let's jump into, before I jump into that, let me give you a brief description of what we asked for in the call for artists. We invited interested artists to provide responses to the request for qualifications for exterior statue for the proposed roundabout at the intersection of Durant Road and Miller Road, located in southeast Hillsborough County. The desired theme for the artwork is a life-size statue in the likeness of Professor William G. Toosey, the founder of Valrico. The piece should be comprised of a natural material, monolithic in form, and require very low maintenance. The selected artist will be responsible for the design, the fabrication, and the installation of the artwork to include foundations and all related permitting. A marker will be placed at each pedestrian crossing with information on Professor Toosey, the history of Valrico, and a description of the statue. 3 finalists will be selected to provide site-specific proposals. Each selected finalist will be paid an honorarium of up to $750. Site-specific proposals must include a site-specific maquette and or other visual depictions of the proposed artwork. Final selection will be made by the Board of County Commissioners. So that's just to give you a little background on what we asked the artist to provide. I sent you guys a copy of this. We don't need to go over it, but there's about 21 items in the design criteria that the artist must follow, and that's for later on once they're doing their site-specific proposals. So give me 1 second.
Amanda, we have a call-in user that joined shortly ago, 813-373. Can you identify yourself, please?
This is Mary Sheets. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Sheets.
Okay, so we'll start. Daniel Borup is the first one. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to get this. We're going to have to do it that way. Alrighty. Okay, so we have Daniel Borup. He's from Shelley, Idaho. He has his BS in art education from Brigham Young University. He is a representational sculptor specializing in figurative sculpture. He's got over 25 commissioned pieces of artwork. He's got over 11 years of experience. He's provided references, and I'll just give you a little summary of his proposal for this project, which is he has included digital renderings and images with this letters. The renderings show his initial ideas for the sculpture, which will be developed more fully in the final stages. The sculpture will be cast in bronze and stand at life size. The base will be 6 feet tall and have a bronze plaque on each side. As specified in the RFP, the Roman goddess Ceres will be depicted with a flowing dress and a gesture of walking forward while just having picked citrus fruit from a tree. She holds a basket full of citrus fruit with her arm raised and her hand and her standing on a ball as she is the sculpture will be 7 to 8 feet tall. So let's review some of his past work.
Hey, Amanda.
Yep.
This is Tommy. So is it? Let me just verify. This is Durant and Miller.
Yes.
And that's going to be the William Tosi, right?
Yes. Yes. Sorry about that. I'm just now seeing that. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Well, maybe he put in the wrong description. Yes.
Or he's doing the one for tomorrow too, you know.
He's doing both. Yes, he is doing both. But I had this issue with someone else earlier today. They submitted the same wording for each. But I think he actually, yeah. So anyways, he applied for both.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to be sure, like.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry.
So this is some of his past work. Yes. Sorry, they got transposed. This is his concept image for Professor Tusi. Next, we have Daniel Moore of Phoenix, Arizona. He's got a BFA in graphic design, ceramics, metalworking, and jewelry from the University of Iowa. He's a public artist for over 7 years. And he's just provided examples of his previous work. Next, we have Gareth Curtiss from Fort Payne, Montana. He studied art and sculpture. He's a figurative sculptor for over 30 years. And he would like to create a life-size statue of Professor Tusi. The work would be cast in bronze and mounted in a fashion as you prescribed in your documents, and also inscribed lettering for each face of the stone plinth. The work would be lifelike and true to all photos in existence of the professor. He would need to review the pictures of Professor Tusi, and that he recommends that we review pictures of his past work. To date, he's completed more than 50 publicly commissioned works of sculpture. Most of them have been statues of famous people, historic events, and memorials of significance. So let's look at some of his work. Next is Jim Gallucci, and I spoke with Mr. Gallucci today. He did not mean to respond to this call, so we're going to skip over him. And that is, next is Linda Ferro from Walnut, California. She went to UCLA. She's a sculpture artist. She's also a licensed building contractor in the state of California and a landscape contractor. And she works for the Planning Commission of the city of Walnut. She's got over 25 years of experience in artistry. And she proposes to really research Mr. Tusi and make sure that she has the appropriate dress and accoutrements. She will work with stakeholders to achieve their expectations, and she has provided examples of her work. It looks like she's done work based on photographs before. Next, we have Michael McLaughlin. He's of Torrington, Connecticut. He studied at Lime Academy of Fine Arts. He's a public artist. He's got over 20 years of experience, and he's provided references. Um, his proposal stated that he's interested in proposing an original work of art cast in bronze to submit along with his credentials. It is the many faces of nature that provide him a sense of certitude in his life and work. Nature and its diverse lessons offer. Sometimes these assertions are self-contained, while many are open-ended. And he gave a little Asian proverb that said, "If you wish to hear the temple bells, listen to the sound of the sea. If you wish to see God, look attentively at the creation." And let's look at some of his work. And I believe that is it. Those are our artists. So I will run through and play the run through the artists one more time. If you guys want to take notes after this, we'll start attempting to rank these. Let's see if I can do full screen. All right. James, do you want to perhaps try and walk me through how we might do the polling?
So I really don't recommend the polling. After I look at your instructions, it's certainly not going to fit that need at all. Now, we do have a chat function where our members could essentially, we could rank each one based off of the points provided, and they could just type in the name and put their points, or we could do A, B, C, D, E, F, like a letter for each name, and you could put the points associated next to that, and you could record it that way.
Okay. So if we all want to give that a try, doing the, if you have your rankings and you wanted to pick artist one, put their name and their associated number of points next to it, I guess, in the chat. It's either that or you fill out the PDF that was emailed to you and send that back. So we can try to do the chat really quick.
Amanda, should we try and send it in the chat just to you or send it for everybody?
However, I don't know how the chat function works, but however it works.
Okay.
Is it possible to send it just to me?
Yes.
Are we not, we're not discussing any of this, or?
Are we not what?
Do we not discuss any of the artists, or is it's just a?
Yeah, if you want to discuss, sure.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little, seeing as this is my first time doing this, I guess I was unsure about, well, I guess what role, like, is it just a straight vote, or is there some kind of negotiation? Or?
No, if there's any discussion that anyone wants to have about any particular artist, or if we want to review some more, we can do that before we start ranking. That's not a problem. That's what this committee is for. So if you guys want to have some open discussion and dialogue about what we saw, that's fine.
Hey, Amanda, this is Tommy. I'll put my 2 cents in real quick. I thought there are 3 in there that were clearly really good at these bronze life-size statues, which is what we're requesting on the request for qualification. So they pretty clearly have done this. And, I just want to let everybody know, remember, it's a roundabout. So what we need to think about is how is that person or thing or that scene facing. And the other thing is, I really like the ones that show a lot of like activity. I haven't done my homework on Tuesday yet, but I think the artist obviously will, and put them into a environment that maybe speaks to all the directions of the roundabout, but maybe he is sitting down, but something's going on behind him or something. I don't know how he wants to do that, or she, but that's just my 2 cents on it. But I think they're fantastic. Wow, I'm just really impressed.
Yeah, agreed.
Hi, this is Georgia. I know we've discussed at length about at other meetings about the roundabouts and the location, but certainly if anyone wants to discuss, we're open to that. If someone just wants to make a comment, raise your hand, and we'll do that before voting.
All right. How do we?
Yeah.
How do we raise hands?
James?
Is there a hand raising function?
Yes, there is. So if you're logged into the WebEx app and you have your participants queue activated, which is the round-headed figure that is down at the bottom next to your share video and share content buttons. You see that round-headed figure there?
Yes.
When you activate that next to your name in the participants queue, you should see a high five hand right there.
You don't have to whisper.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, see that?
I'd like to say something. I mean, I think that clearly there's 3 sculptors that are maybe better suited for this. Although it would be interesting to see what Michael McLaughlin had to do in terms of a more metaphoric relationship to the content than just a straightforward or allegorical, right, relationship to the content than just a straightforward sort of like, here's another bronze guy. Because frankly, like all of these artists are quite conservative that we're looking at in terms of like representation. My 2 cents on Daniel Borup is that his work tends to be sort of nostalgic and uncomplicated in terms of the representational quality of like an image of a person, right? It sort of falls in line with a tradition of public sculpture, which I think at this point is quite nostalgic. Whereas I think Linda Serrano, hold on, I'm sorry, I misspelled all their names, I'm sure. Linda's work is potentially more complicated and humanistic in terms of her representations of people. They have, you know, instead of all of these figures, you know, standing proudly with their chest out, they're like, you know, maybe in a position of exhaustion or contemplation, or it shows another characteristic of this figure, which is a little bit more progressive, I think, in terms of like ideas around public sculpture. I think that Gareth's work, he tends to be I think that he exceeds the other two in terms of the quality of his sculptures, in terms of his hand. I find his hand to be much more free and confident than the other two, but maybe less complicated in terms of the relationship to the content as, say, someone like Linda's work. But I find Daniel's work to just kind of be anachronistic, honestly.
Okay, those are all good points.
Well taken, well said. Are there any more comments before we vote? And are we going to give the chat a try?
I had a question. Linda Serrano, is her sculpture going to be in bronze? Did she note any materials?
Let me check.
It seems like all of her works that she showed are in bronze, so I'm assuming that is her medium of choice.
Yeah,
and just just an aside question. So on Daniel Borup's, I know most of the description you read was about Circe for the second sculpture that's going to go further down on Durant. But his, the other rendition, is that really the life-size image or the like image of William Toucey? Just out of curiosity. That
You're talking about this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All the artists will be working with the Tampa Bay History Center Museum.
So they'll all have a likeness. I just didn't know if he would be
all receive a photograph.
Gave us something.
Yeah. He may have done his own research, so I'm not sure what image he was referencing here.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem to be the likeness of William Toucey.
Oh, good. And Michael McLaughlin, he is in for the second commission, correct?
On the Durant, Little, and Dover?
Yes, I think so. I think he is.
I can check.
I think I see it.
He is, yes.
He might be a little
and
more
just,
oracle for
just a little
the.
background information on him. He has done work for the county before. He has a sculpture located at Sefner Mango Community Park, also near their library, which is very similar to some of the work that was shown in here at the tree with a lot of animals that he did out there. So he has worked with the county before.
Amanda,
it worked well.
Is Mr. McLaughlin's tree the one, is it another tree at the library? One that they had installed over the Christmas holiday?
Yes. It's brand new. Got out there for Christmas.
I remember. Remember you told us about
He and his wife installed it during Christmas.
Oh.
So it's similar to this one that's on the screen now, but yes, Mr. McLaughlin has worked with us before.
Wonderful.
And Mary, to answer your question, her actual proposal says all my bronze sculptures are of the highest quality in execution and finish, suitable for indoor and outdoor situations where exposure and human interaction are factors. So she speaks a lot about bronze sculptures. I would say it's safe to say that that's what she's proposing.
Thanks.
Any other discussion or questions? All right, so if we can try to do the chat, that would be great.
So underneath the names in the participants queue, you should have a chat drop down there. If you open that chat and you put in your, Amanda, it would probably help if you shared that sheet with their names and the voting information, so they can kind of use that as a guide. And then essentially what I would do as a voter is I would put the name of the artist and whatever point system you think is appropriate, and then send that directly to Ms. Grant, and the function should work pretty well. I don't know if these votes are in the past have been private or if they're not private. So Amanda, I'll kind of.
They're normally private, but
so
they
then,
don't,
yeah.
I mean, they don't have to be. James, I have a question for you. When I'm sharing my screen, I lose the other virtual. It turns into like a really small pin. So will I be able to see when they're sending me a chat?
You want to send me an email with that document and I can share it, so that way you can be just a normal user?
Yep.
Because it totally manipulates all of your other features.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there should be like a little bar in the top center, that orange. If you expand that out, it might let you open the chat. If it doesn't, just send it to me anyway.
All right, I just sent it to you.
Amanda, did you get mine yet on the chat?
I don't have access to it while
you can stop sharing. I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah, I sent it privately to.
Yes, I'm seeing them now. Thank you.
Okay.
We're just giving, hold on. This is not. We're just giving you our 1, 2, and 3, is that right?
Yeah, I gave
3
it,
would be to your most preferred, 2 would be to your second, and 1 would be to your third ranked.
Okay.
Spelled one wrong.
Yes.
Hey, Amanda, this is Tom Grohl.
Yeah.
I went old school and just sent you a PDF with my point ranking on email.
Thank you. Yeah, this is harder than it looks.
Amanda, this is Lisa. Did you get mine through the chat?
I think so. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to.
If
keep
not,
up
I'll
with
just
these.
send it another way.
Lisa, yes, I see them here.
Yeah, except for I misspelled one name, but I think you can figure it out.
Yeah. All right. 1 second. All right, that worked out. Oh, Tommy, I didn't see yours yet.
Did you see my email?
I'm opening it right now. Thank you for this. All right, the rankings are as follows. It is Gareth Curtiss with 17, followed by Linda Farrow with 14, followed by Daniel Borup with 9. This is the ranking that I will present to the Public Art Committee.
Thank you, Amanda.
Great.
Thank you guys so much. That worked out just fine.
Thank you, Amanda.
Are there any more questions before we leave? You're welcome.
Okay, thank
That's
you
all I have
all.
for you guys. One more thing before we leave. So what will happen is in about a week or so, I will, or after the Public Art Committee meets, I'll go ahead and issue a request for a site-specific proposal. The artists typically have 2 months to prepare that. And shortly after that, I will schedule our second meeting where we will review and rank those.
Great.
So,
Sounds good.
all right. If there are no further questions, you guys have a great weekend, rest of the week.
Okay, thank you, Amanda, and I'll be talking to you soon.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hey, Amanda.